and it was really a good game. We played well. I really liked the ball movement, and I thought our guys did a very good job without many substitutions of not losing their conditioning, which is excellent. Obviously, when you play your first scrimmage, you're going to turn it over more than you want, and we did. But overall, it was a very good performance. I was a little taken back and a little surprised by the big Egyptian. He's been getting a little bit better every single day, but he's never played as well as he did tonight, so I was very excited to see that.
Montrez seems to have a new toy, that three-point shot. How do you like that?
He's been shooting it well. What I told him was, look, you worked very hard on it with individual instruction for 2 years. I certainly don't want to take it away, especially when we're running a lot of motion now. But what I told him in the first half is you didn't have an offensive rebound, so you don't want to take away what made you a first-team All-American. In the second half, he was much better as he ended up with 4 offensive rebounds and 12 for the game, 3 assists. And so, Montrez is everything a first-team All-American should be. He's worked at making his game better, very similar to Gorky, and I'm real proud of him.
Rick, talking to the freshmen and just looking at the freshmen, almost all of them seem to have had some pretty big physical transformations in the last 3 or 4 months. Can you kind of talk about how much you guys are focused on having those guys gain weight, lose weight, get stronger?
Well, the obvious one, Shinanu, you guys saw him in the spring, and what you watched in the spring wasn't very pleasing to the eye from what I understand, and now you look at him and he's a physical specimen. He's the most ready to play of the freshmen, physically. Certainly Quentin Snyder's gotten a lot stronger. I was very impressed with him. He was having just an atrocious night, and then most guys would just shy away, and he made a big-time baseline drive, took the 3, and that showed me more in the scrimmage than just about anything, the fact that he would even attempt to make those moves and make that shot. So it's he's been playing very well in practice. He just had an off night.
Before the game, you were talking about Terry Rozier's professionalism. I wonder if you could elaborate on that, what you see and why he stands out so much.
Well, the culture of the young people today are to act almost unprofessional in practice. They lose their focus, they get distracted, and Terry is kind of an amazing freshman, and he's also an amazing sophomore. Since the first day he arrived, he steps on the court as if he's a 10-year NBA veteran, with the way he doesn't trash talk. He just carries about his business in a workman's-like way, and he just looks to get better. And he's really one of the easiest guys to coach I've ever had. He knows he's very good, but he doesn't show big ego, and he's a kid that it's as if he's from the hood, but he has the hood toughness, but he acts like a total gentleman in the way he plays. He just looks up to so much Dwayne Wade. He tries to talk like him, walk like him, and he feels Dwayne Wade is a consummate professional, and he tries to act just like D. Wade.
Saying that he felt last year playing with Russ that he spent a lot of time kind of on the wing waiting and not as aggressive as we saw today. How do you see his role?
I think both Chris and Terry deferred to Russ, and rightfully so. Russ was the first-team All-American, and Russ can, although we all love Russ, sometimes because he's so spontaneous, you're not sure what to do. And where Chris and Terry are a little bit more, you know sort of what they're going to do. And that's, look, there are a lot of great backcourts in college basketball, and I won't say we're the best backcourt, but I don't think I would take anybody over these two guys. They're both terrific.
Coach, can you just talk about overall how you think both teams came out and played?
I thought they played remarkably well for a first scrimmage. I mean, there's a lot of, we're not as deep as we've been. We're younger than we've been. We certainly are losing a big-time shooter in Luke Hancock with the chips on the line. There's no better guy in the game than Cool Hand Luke. And certainly Russ was as dynamic a player as we've had. And then So we've lost guys that are the winningest class in the history. So we got to not only restart, we want to rebuild in a month, not a season. So we got to rebuild our culture as well as rebuilding our fundamentals and our offenses and our defenses, because we have 6, 7 new players. Even Okoye has not played. He's always been hurt. Jalen hasn't been here all summer, and then he was out the entire first part of practice. So we're starting new. We've got 4 absolutely terrific basketball players, and then Mango and Anton are very, very good as well. And Shinanu is ready to play as a freshman, and I haven't seen Anas play that well up until the last 2 days. Yesterday's practice and today, he surprised the heck out of me.
Talk about Anton and what he's doing better, or what he is.
He's very fast. He's very quick. He has a scorer's mentality. He's very quick jumper, very aggressive, where he took a backseat last year as well.
Is that where he's come the most aggressive? I mean, last year he.
Yeah, I just think that freshmen just, in this type of environment, just need time to grow. And, he has grown. And, we're only 7 deep right now. We've got to find an 8th or 9th player. And that just, who that will be remains to be seen.
Wayne was criticized at times for poor play last year, and yet you stuck with him, named him a senior captain. How did he approach this offseason?
I just told him, I said, we had a long talk. He was upset at me for telling him he's got to work harder and everything. I said, look, son, I haven't enjoyed coaching anybody. You, Peyton Seaver, about as good as it gets in coaching just a nice person. I said, but right now, that old adage of nice guys finishing last is going to happen to you. Your hourglass of sand is running out. And you've just got to be aggressive. You've got to be mean and tough. You've got to be Chicago tough, where you're from. And it's your year. It's your senior year. And all I want you to do is just be aggressive, and whatever that takes. And he has shown that he stayed here the entire summer, worked nonstop on his shot, worked on his ball handling, and worked like he should have worked. And he's getting the fruits for his labor right now, because he looks very, very good out there.
You talked about building onto the culture, that kind of thing. What do you do to kind of instill that? Obviously, helps to have a guy like Montrez.
Well, as I said earlier, foreign players, what you get with foreign players in the beginning is you get humble people who work hard, who are highly intelligent. What you lose out on is toughness, competitiveness. They're not ultra competitive. They're not ultra tough. So we got to build that into them. And when you play with guys like Chris Jones and Rozier and Montrez and Mango, they're very tough. And Wayne now, they're very tough guys. So it just takes a little time. And, our guys get on those guys every single day. Where Shinanu is tough, so we got to get Mats and Anas to play like that. We got to get Shaquan stronger. And it's just going to take some time.
What are the things that Chris can do now with the weight that he's lost? He obviously looks quicker, but to you, what are the things that he can do now better?
Well, he's unpressable. He's unguardable because he's so quick. I mean, our guys are very quick. Terry's very quick, and Q's very quick. He's not a good defenseman, but they can't stay in front of him. And so he's unguardable, and he's also very strong. So he's really, really improved his speed, his quickness. He's worked on his jump shot, and then you put him beside Terry, and those guys work great together because we're playing 2-1s. Chris will get, because he's dogging everybody so much, Terry takes over, and I don't tell them to do this. They do amongst themselves. They just constantly switch roles by themselves based on fatigue, because they know they're both going to have to play 34 minutes a game.
Can this team press, given your depth? Yes.
Not right. We can press, but it has to be put on and taken off. It has to be right before a TV timeout, and then they get a little bit of a blow. This is not like the last 2 or 3 years where we can, we just don't want to kill Chris and Terry. And as Q gets better, as Anton gets better, yes, we can.
Do you see in Jalen what you thought? I know he's behind, and he's just.
Jalen lives in a make-believe world. I mean, the announcers told me that he said he's playing great. He hasn't even played. I don't know. He must be dreaming about his game, because he hasn't even played in practice, doesn't know a play, and it looks lost out there right now because he's missed the entire summer, the entire fall. And then the announcers told me, he said he's playing great. I don't know. Maybe he's playing those Xbox games, and on the Xbox he's playing great. I don't know. And not his fault, he just missed all his time. Next week's scrimmage, I'm hoping that, I'm not sure if I'll change the teams. Tonight's scrimmage was much closer than the first one we had, a private scrimmage we had. I may move Chris to the other team and get Chris and Montrez off the team together and see how that goes, and let Terry play a little bit with the other guys.
Do you see Anton, is his handle where it needs to be in terms of possibly being playing the point a little bit?
You know, I see the same thing with all lefties. You know, they go left more than they go right. Anton's really improving, really getting better. He's very fast. He's a very good athlete. You know, we got three terrific athletes with those three guards. And, you know, we just got to develop more of a front court. You know, we still haven't seen Okoye. He's been injured since he left, Nebraska. Got to get him healthy.
You have another assistant that's made a physical transformation. A lot of us didn't recognize him when we saw him back there. But
104 pounds in four and a half months is really remarkable. I mean, I don't know how he did it, and I didn't. It was just him and Ray getting together, and it's an amazing transformation. Everybody who sees him on the road says, "Is that Kenny?" And he just cut out sugar, cut out carbs, and exercised for the first time in his life, and he looks tremendous.
it's not like you're standing over him on a treadmill or anything. But
I didn't do anything.
you've had coaches, many who've done it.
Yeah, I just said, listen, you need to get in shape because you're going to preach conditioning to these guys. Preach it. Just get yourself into shape, and can you lose 100 pounds? And he said, yes, I can, and he did it. And it wasn't a deck chair off the Queen Mary.
Anything else, anybody?
How have they adjusted to, I guess, your suggestion that they play with this kind of urgency in practice and in games? This scrimmage seemed to kind of talk to what you said, that, they need some kind of urgency.
My biggest concern is we've never been ready. Even though we've won because we have played teams that we're much better than, what we call guarantee games. We're not going to be afforded that, and I don't think since I've been here I've had a team that was ready early on. Maybe one team, maybe the T. Willer or Clark